What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You can see here we got the little Rlaarlo ROG1, little 14th scale monster truck, basher, whatever you want to call it. Kind of got all the decals put on it. Finally getting some of the footage edited so we can start uploading some content on this thing. Gonna give you guys a breakdown on it real quickly. Hopefully, maybe we can get it apart. First things first, guys. Quality. First thing you'll notice about this truck when you get it, quality. Just like the Omni Terminator, this thing is honestly overbuilt, if that makes sense, if that's the actual word. First thing you'll notice when you pick it up is the weight of the vehicle. Sorry, I was trying to wipe some stuff that got on the wheel earlier. You'll notice the weight of the vehicle as soon as you grab it. This thing is engineered very, very well. It has an alloy chassis on the bottom. You can see the bottom's not even scratched at all. Stickers are still on it. Tires got a little dirty from rolling it around on the carport just to check the see how the remote and all responds, but other than that, we have not took this thing out yet. So you're liable to see some of this footage on this truck possibly up to a month or so long later than when we actually received it, so keep that in mind. The dates that I record this necessarily won't correlate with the dates that they get edited and uploaded, so keep that in mind. But anyway, this has to be hands down my favorite small scale RC on the market right now. Okay, if you're all familiar with my channel, you know that the 10th scale is usually about the smallest thing I want to mess with, and that's mainly just because of my eyesight, vision problem that I have in my right eye, and then I'm getting old, guys. Old man, I can't see too good anymore. So anyway, I agreed a few months ago. I tried out some smaller scale stuff from Jetwood, and honestly the stuff was so good that I actually began to like the smaller scale stuff. So recently was the DRC 1217. If you've seen that, that is probably hands down the best 14th scale truck that I had owned or tested up until this one. If you're familiar with the MJX Hypergo, then you know which is the 14210 or the H14BM, depending on if you got version 1 or version 2. You'll know that the Jetwood JC14 EP is the clone of it. You'll know the Besgar HP 141S is the clone of it. You'll know the DRC 14210 is also the clone. All of those are exact clones of the MJX Hypergo. Now, the DRC 1217 is what I like to have called the budget of those. But anyway, this is not a video about the DRC. This is strictly about this little animal here. And up until this thing here, like I was saying, the DRC 1217 was my favorite small scale, 14 scale basher slash truck, whatever you want to call it. Not anymore. Look no further, guys. If you want a very well built, fast, dependable, ready to rock out of the box, don't look any further than this. This has got everything you need. The supplied battery that it comes with, I knew I had it somewhere. It is a 2200 mAh 3S 35C, 48 miles per hour out of the box on that thing. Okay, and then we went to this, and you're probably all going to be shocked that we didn't pick up anything because usually these CNHL batteries, we usually pick up at least 1 or 2 miles per hour, and we didn't. It's not knocking the CNHL, it might just be showing you how good a quality this battery is, even though it's got a low C rating. So anyway, 47, 48 miles an hour is what we got out of this. In the very first runs we got 47 and 48 miles per hour out of this. So no advantage there with the CNHL. I figured there would be, but there wasn't. One thing I do like about this truck, guys, is XT60s. Doesn't have the Dean's connector. Comes with a nice strap. It's got a good sized battery tray, but the center brace that goes across through here where your servo box or your receiver box and your ESC is mounted kind of limits how thick you can get, and that right there is absolutely the thickest battery you can get to fit in there. When we run these thicker batteries like this, you have to run them up on their side, but it works, so no complaints there. This is the Sky RC GNSS analyzer. Hopefully you all can see that. It's not part of it. This little truck comes with a 45 amp ESC with a cooling fan, 2 to 3S compatible. The motor, guys, hopefully you all can see that. Let me grab the camera here. 2845 3600 kV. The only thing I wish it would come with is a cooling fan, but you know, I'm eventually going to upgrade this truck anyway to where it'll run on 4S, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this little ESC as a spare backup, but I'm going to take the fan off the top of this ESC and put it right here. But the whole time, which it hasn't been really hot here in my area, but the highest it's been lately is in the mid 60s, and that's just recently. You know, before that we've been dealing with ungodly cold weather here, snow, which we hardly ever get. So anyway, haven't had a problem with heat. So that's the only thing I wish Rlaarlo would do, is put a fan here. But anyway, that's for another day, I guess. Until we have a problem with it, I'm not going to say anything, but don't let that lack of fan hold you back. Got a real nice, I believe it's a, I want to say, if I remember right reading in the book, this is a 9 kilogram servo in here, and a saver. And it does have an adjustment down there on it. It's hard to see on camera, but it does have a servo saver right there, and there's the adjustment on it. Hopefully you can see it in that little crack maybe. But it is down there, trust me. Okay. Another good thing about this, guys, I wish it was a center diff, but it does not have a center diff. But at least it's not like most of the other ones and some of those that I've mentioned already, and just motor directly to spur gear. This one does have a slipper clutch. Hopefully you can see it down in there. Dual fiber slipper clutch, dual pads, whatever you want to say, which is a really good thing. It comes from the factory with a 59 tooth spur, 15 tooth pinion, and they also send you an optional 20 tooth pinion gear to go along with it. So I've seen some videos of some people stating that theirs came with a 21 tooth, but mine didn't. It come with a 20 tooth, and so far the best speeds I've seen get out of this thing, depending on which channel you're at, with the stock 15 tooth pinion is 47 to 49 miles per hour, and then when they went with the larger pinion, 58 to 60 miles an hour, and they all did it with a supplied battery that comes with the little truck. So this thing has beefy lower control arms, very beefy. And one thing you're going to get with this truck, guys, that you don't get with any of the other ones, sway bars, front and rear, and trust me, they do help tremendously. This thing has got nice camber and caster tie rod ends to set your toe and camber and all that stuff in your caster. Nice oil-filled shocks, aluminum shock mounts with their name on it. It's got a real nice LED light bar there. It's almost like a real bright amber looking orange. So Some of you might notice and look at that and think that that wheelie bar looks kind of weird. Well, that's because it's flipped 180. If you mount this thing the way it is intended for you to mount it from the factory, it's going to be like all those other ones, especially like the Jetwoods. You know, they all come with that little bitty tiny wheelie bar. It's about that long and it points straight up. Well, the problem with that is, guys, by the time that thing touches, the truck is damn near vertical. Same thing with this. If I'd have mounted it the way the factory came, the truck was almost vertical. So I swapped the mounts around, left to right and right to left, done a complete 180 flip on it, and now that wheelie bar touching. Look how far the front end's off the ground. Helps tremendously with the flipping over backwards and stuff. So anyway, guys, stay tuned. We're going to be doing some speed tests on this thing in the next couple of days, dropping some videos. First thing we're going to do is test it just like it is 100% stock with the supplied battery. And then we're going to test it with the C&HL Black Series 3S 1500 mile stock gearing and everything. And then we're going to install the larger pinion, the 20-tooth pinion, test it again with the stock battery and the stock C&HL battery with with this Black Series C&HL Black Series battery. And then after we get it maxed out with the biggest speed pinion that they send with it, we're going to put on some Armahoons and see. I've seen people get 58 to 60 miles per hour after they install the larger speed pinion that comes with it. But these tires right here are, I mean, they're ballooned. All the videos I've watched, and you got a contact pattern maybe that wide versus that wide. So definitely going to think it would be obtainable with Armahoons on there. But I gotta say, guys, this is basically the Omni Terminator's little brother. If you're familiar with the Terminator, you know it's very well built, overbuilt to be a fact. It is very fast, very reliable, and I honestly think in 2025 you're going to see Rlaarlo really step up in the RC world. They are manufacturing and releasing some very nice cars. Now there is a couple of other ones that are very similar to this. I believe one's by ZD and the other one's by Juicy or something like that. They're based off of this chassis. They are similar, but they have a 35 amp ESC, and by what I've seen in the reviews I've seen on them, you know, the throttle response isn't as good, the brakes isn't as good as what's on the Rlaarlo. So we all know everybody's gonna have clones and copies. That's just part of the hobby. But anyway, just wanted to kind of give you guys an update of what we're dealing with here, what we got going on. I've already done an unboxing on this thing, but I kind of wanted to give you guys an idea of where we're at and let you know that probably by the time this thing uploads, we have already made several passes. But I just kind of wanted to give another kind of short video on this thing and let you know where we stand and where we're at and all that stuff. And something else I wanted to throw in there, guys, that I did not get to mention in the unboxing video. This thing is like any other RC by Rlaarlo. They love their brakes. And I'll go ahead and tell you, this thing out of the box, the brakes are entirely too strong for me. Okay? They just are. And unless you have a program card, you're kind of stuck with the factory settings. And I've heard people say they've tried different program cards and theirs wouldn't work. Well, here's my Surpass Hobby program card, and here is my plain Jane basic Ghoul RC program card, and both of them work with this ESC. So I'm definitely gonna go in there and adjust the punch level on it a little bit, turn it down probably one notch, and I'm definitely gonna back off the brakes some. That way we can get some thorough test out of this thing without worry about stripping gears or flipping it over at 50-60 miles an hour because the brakes locked up on us. So let me know what you think, guys. Rlaarlo ROG1. Stay tuned. got some speed tests dropping and some new videos and everything dropping by this Sunday. Appreciate it, guys. See you in the next one.